Welcome back to another episode of Expertly Unqualified.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome to season 2, which is crazy to say. I guess you could call it season 2, year 2. We still feel new to all this podcasting, but we are switching it up. So if you missed, I guess it was a few weeks ago, we were back from summer break now, so you can be happy. You'll be able to see us every Sunday. But we decided to switch things up a little bit for this year. So each weekend, like each Sunday of the month, we have a different kind of theme. And if you joined us today, which is an excellent day, not only is it the first day of summer, according to the calendar, it's also Father's Day. And it's our Greetings from the Midwest episode. All things Midwest. Obviously, we're going to do Father's Day themed. And hopefully, if you're from the Midwest, you can relate. If you're not from the Midwest, you can learn a little bit more because obviously you got to learn about the Midwest because who doesn't want to know about that? But Greetings from the Midwest. We moved our normal WHAT news to our walk and talk, which will be next week. So just an overview of our different weeks. There's walk and talk where we just kind of catch up on what we've been up to. There's things we've been distracted by. So talking about books, movies, recipes, literally anything we were distracted by. And if you know Holly and I, we get distracted very easily. So there'll be a lot to talk about there. We have Greetings from the Midwest, talking about all things Midwest and trying to adult. Obviously, the whole point of our podcast is trying to figure out how to adult because no one teaches you how to do that. So we're going to use our expertly unqualified advice to help guide you to being an adult. Or maybe you're already an adult and we'll just make you feel more at home. Whatever the case is, we're super excited for year 2. Holly, did you want to keep our expertly unqualified? Okay, so today, as I mentioned, we are doing Greetings from the Midwest, Father's Day edition. If you're listening to this on Sunday when we post it and you forgot it's Father's Day, you still have time. And if worst case scenario, just go give your dad a hug because he'll accept it and he'll be happy with that.
And I feel like Father's Day is like one of those holidays where like less is more, like dads will just appreciate the effort.
I mean, last year, okay, we did another Father's Day episode last year. It's crazy to think that 1 year ago we did that. But we were talking about like for Mother's Day, you gotta plan the brunch. You gotta plan the flowers. You gotta think of something that she likes as a gift, but maybe your mom doesn't like gifts at all. So then that's even harder. If you got siblings, you gotta coordinate with them. And that's the best when you're like, hey, you wanna split this? So you don't have to do all that. But for dads, it's like, get him some meat. Let him go grill. Let him be in his element. Get him some beer. In my dad's case, if you just distracted him and you'd be like, here's some Skittles, he'd be happy as a clam, Very simple things make them happy. I feel like go let him play golf for the day. Then you get a whole day to do whatever you want. Sign me up. I'm not saying that you shouldn't hang out with your dad or if your husband's having Father's Day or whatever, but you do what you gotta do. I mean, I guess since this is our Greetings from the Midwest, we should talk mostly about Midwest dads. So, Holly, do you have any like classic Midwest dad behavior that comes to mind that you're like,
Okay.
yes, like you could spot them out from a crowd?
One of the top ones of all time is refusing to wear a winter coat or pants all year. So like there's like various degrees where like in the Midwest, there's always that one guy who won't wear a coat. Will wear shorts all year.
Mm-hmm. The ones that get me is when it's like 45, windy, rainy, and they got a hoodie, like cargo shorts and flip-flops. They're walking into the Jewels, They're like,
Yeah.
don't mind me, it's summer.
And like an offshoot of this is also the dad who grills all year, regardless of weather.
That's my dad. My dad's one to wear sweatpants and winter coats, so he doesn't fall into the first category. The second category, he will grill rain, sleet, snow, tornado. He just brings the grill closer to the house and he's set. He's good. He's gonna cook us a good meal. Don't you worry about that.
Do you have any Midwest dadism?
Okay, how about like not only when it's raining, but just in general, they're like are really proud of their yard or their house. So like they'll go walk around the yard and do like a nature walk. Or if it's raining or like the storm's coming and you can see it, they're either standing out on the back deck or they're standing in the garage. They got like their arms crossed. Maybe they got like their music playing, the rock music that they like listening to. They got a drink in hand and they're like, man, storm's coming in, right?
That's another classic. The tornado watching dad is a classic. Just like,
Oh my gosh. And you would think with the weather that we've had around here, For those of you who are not from the Midwest and have never dealt with a tornado, if there's really bad weather, we'll get a tornado siren, and that signals to everyone except the male in the house to go like seek shelter, go to your basement, take cover. Dads hear it and they're like, oh, it's a call to go stand outside, go stand by the sliding back door, stare out the window, because you know what? Tornadoes can't hit them. Never understood that, but that's just a dad thing. The other thing that my dad's notorious for, which I do appreciate, but it's just kind of funny, is he'll give you weather updates, whether you ask for them or not. It'll just be like, maybe you haven't texted in a while, and then it'll be like, storm's possible this afternoon. Make sure your car's in the garage. Or chance of rain, better stay home. You know, like those random
Mhm.
things. They pretend to be meteorologists.
That's also a classic Midwestern parent move is to text you weather updates saying weather will be bad, flash flood warning, stay home.
Mhm. Yep. They'll also talk about the weather a lot. I think that's just Midwest people in general because of how crazy our weather actually is, but I feel like dads talk about it the most, and then they specifically will say stuff like, "Man, we really needed this rain," or, "You know, my neighbor's rain gauge only said 3/4 of an inch, but you know what? I think we got close to 2 inches." Holly, does your dad do this, or is it only mine? I think it's fun that he has a hobby, but he found this one website that shows all the airplanes in the air in the entire world. And so he picked us up from our a cruise, and he's like, "There were about 20,000 planes up in the air while you were there." And I was tracking it. You guys were coming in at different heights, but there was another flight. And then he's like, "And then you turned around. You should have seen it." So
No,
don't let your dad know, but there is a tracking website that looks at all the planes that are up in the air.
no, it's absolutely a thing too. And like for those of you who don't know, you can look up the plane that your loved one is on actively and watch the flight information and status live, and you can watch the plane that your loved one is on live.
But you know what? They are the sweetest human beings of all time, and you gotta give them credit because I feel like they know everything. They know how to fix things. They tell you about the weather. They know how to grill. Yeah, I just the other thing for like you could pick out a dad pretty easily. I don't know about your dad, but mine referring to his closet, it's like the same color theme for all clothes. It's on the same like grayscale. So it's like gray and navy blue, nothing else. And then sometimes they'll like walk out of the house and they're wearing like all gray and you're like, your outfits are not in, go change. Or if they find something they like, they just buy from the same, like if they have a pair of jeans that are like Levi's and they really like 'em, once those get a hole in them, they buy the same exact pair again. I feel like that's just a
And
dad thing.
I don't know if this is specific to the Midwest, but my dad also loves Asics.
Mm.
Like loves Asics
That my
and
brother
New
got that. He
Balances,
likes those. My dad's
which
not ASIC, but they're with the white New Balances, they like find one shoe brand and they're just hooked. They are hooked.
but I will say too, my dad rocks Michael Scott fashion, which is not bad, you know. It's
No, it's like a classic look. Yeah. But then they can really wow you when they get like when there's a fancy day and they get dressed up, you're like, dang, okay. I'm glad you have more than just navy blue and gray. It's good. It's very good.
I also recently learned that this is like a Midwestern chain specifically, but Midwestern dads love Menards.
Save big money
They
at Menards. They love Menards. They'll go there and they'll be like, "Did you know they had food there? I got this pizza or I got these." It's always like, "I got these peanuts. I got these
yeah.
cashews." It's always the nuts.
And I will say they do have good bulk snacks. They do have like a surprisingly really nice food section at Menards. But for those of you who don't know, Menards' big selling point is that they do mail-in rebates. So the classic dad move is that you go to Menards and you do regular shopping at Menards around the house, and you mail in rebates on the regular basis.
You want to know what I forget to do is mail in the rebate. But think of it, it's like the size of a Walmart. If you don't have these stores near you, it's like the size of a Walmart. If you needed a toilet, if you needed laundry detergent, cleaner of some sort, a shovel, and a new grill, and some Cheez-Its and a pizza, you could all get it in the same spot. Like, it's insane. You need some light bulbs. They got just a whole bunch of different things. So they love going there, especially on a weekend. Like, that's
For real.
gotta go run some errands. They love it. I'm trying to think. There's like on outline, it says, like, dad sayings. Do you have any dad sayings? Like, the only one that came to mind for, like, dad sayings was it was something to the effect of, like, wait until you turn 30 and then wait 10 more years to get married. Like, just continually wait.
So, my dad has a lot of those, but a lot of them are, like, dad jokes too, and some of them are, like, little dadism sayings that are more, like, just unsolicited. He does, like, the classic, like, "Do you wanna try a Hertz donut?"
Oh my god,
And
yeah.
he punches you in the shoulder and says, "Here, Hertz donut." He loves dad jokes. He likes to say, "Boredom is a moral fail." Or
Interesting.
not moral, moral. Not a moral fail.
Morale?
Laziness. No, like, what was the word? I forgot the word for it. Oh my god, I forgot his dad saying. But he says that it's like a personal failing. He said, "Boredom is a personal failing. Try to
Well, I
entertain yourself
personally
better."
fail all the time, apparently.
Which apparently boredom is good for you, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. But speaking of dad jokes, since I don't have very many, the other thing he would say is, like, ill heal before you're married. He loved when my softball coach would tell us, like, he was this big Italian guy, and if we didn't, like, dive for a ball, go all out for a play, and we're still, like, obviously, if you dove, you would have gotten dirty. He's like, "Get your skirts dirty." And so my dad will just pull that up randomly. He's like, "Gotta get your skirts dirty." Instead of swearing, I don't know when this happened, but instead of swearing, he would just be like, "cheese and crackers." Haven't heard that one in a while from him, so hopefully if he's listening, he pulls that one back out of his thing. Because
Which
who doesn't love saying cheese and crackers?
I need to whip that one out because recently I am no longer allowed to swear at work, which, it's okay. I'll live. But I gotta whip that out at work because I'll be honest, I'm notoriously bad at not swearing.
There you go. And they'll be like, "What did you just say?" I'll be like,
It's a
"Cheese
cheese and
and
crackers.
crackers." Yeah,
You
you
heard
heard
me?
me. Don't mess with us. Gosh, they'd be so proud. I'm trying to think of the other, but I did have some dad jokes. How does a penguin build its house? It glues it together. Get it, like igloo?
It glues.
Yeah. Why did the scarecrow win an award?
Why?
Because he was outstanding in his field. Now, specifically Midwest dad jokes. A Midwest goodbye takes so long that by the time you're actually leaving, it's time to discuss the weather one more time.
Sure.
How many Midwesterners does it take to end a conversation?
I don't know. I don't know if your dad used this one, but wait. No.
Oh,
Sorry.
the punchline is nobody knows. Scientists are still studying the Midwest goodbye. But what were you saying?
Sorry.
No, you're
Sorry.
good.
I lost my train of thought when I realized. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But what was your thing?
Blinked. I'm sorry.
Okay. I think I said this one last year, but I think it's a good one. I tell dad jokes, but I don't have kids. I'm a faux pas.
That's a good one.
Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great
No.
food, but no atmosphere. These are a stretch, you know? I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but then I turned myself around. And my dad likes saying this one. I was wondering why the frisbee kept getting bigger. Then it hit me.
That's a good one,
You know, classic ones will make you chuckle. Did you have any other dad jokes or sayings your dad would use?
Okay, I thought of some more sayings. My dad loves to say, "Close the doors and windows. I'm not paying for air conditioning for the whole neighborhood." My dad.
Fair enough. Yeah,
And saying, and how, like, honestly, I'm the same. Anytime
you're
the
like,
window's open and they're like, "Oh, you close that."
mm-hmm.
But yeah, do you
Can't
have any
let
other
the air
sayings?
out. No, I don't. I think those were all my sayings. They'll probably come back to me later on, and we'll randomly add them into whatever episode we're on. But I feel like in honor of Father's Day, we should talk about all the ways that our dad was right. You know, I feel like in a lot of ways you may just roll your eyes at what they have to say, but in all reality, mostly what they say is correct, which is a little crazy. Like, for example, how do they know so much about, like, how can they go about fixing a sink and mowing the lawn and changing out a light bulb? They're like Fix It Felix Jr., and then they know so much about your car. How do they know all that? So basically what I'm trying to say is if your dad mentions something to you about your car, you should listen. I've learned the hard way a few times. At least my car hasn't blown up yet. knock on wood, because it's got a mind of its own. But, basically, anytime they tell you about their oh my god. Basically, anytime they tell you about your car, they're probably right. I think they are really prone to taking care of their stuff, so they'll, like, mention it to you, especially with, like, my softball gear. He'd be like, "Have you, like, taken care of your glove?" You could put, like, a it was almost like Vaseline. It wasn't Vaseline, but it was glove conditioner. He's like, "Have you conditioned your glove?" I'm like, "Psh." But I think the best part about dads is that if you have no idea where to start or how to do something, they're more than happy to show you how to do it.
That's something I was really grateful. My dad was always the type where he was like, "I'm teaching you how to do this now. Like, I'll show you how." I was definitely like the kid who was in charge of holding the flashlight, but it was just
Yes,
everything
and then you would
from like
flash it in, like, the wrong spot, and he's like, "I can't see." And you're like, "Oh my god, you didn't tell me where to put the flashlight, I was just holding it."
but I did learn a lot of like everything from like oil changes and changing tires, soldering, home maintenance, like electronics. So I just think I'm grateful for that. He was right.
Yeah. I just thought of something else that my dad does. Does your dad do this? You'll, like, text him, and then he'll just call you because he's like, "I'm not a very good texter. I figured this would be easier." And you know what?
Yes, and
Sometimes it is.
honestly that, or he'll use speak to text. But
I don't think my dad
either
knows how
way,
to use that, so that's good. That is good. I think I
which
showed him
like
how to send a voice memo, but I don't think he uses it.
like we'll be honest, I use voice to text a lot. I use Siri a lot. Like, part of the fun of it is that it sends some a kind of unhinged things. Like honestly, like I figured that by now, like it would be a little bit better at like voice to text, but honestly, it's like 90% there, but still.
Yeah. I think the other fun thing is, like, you'll send him one text with a question in it, and then if you follow up with another text before he responds, he'll just respond to that second text, but won't respond to the first one, so you have to resend the first one, and then he'll finally respond to it.
Oh
That's
yes,
what happens a lot. Or do you get, like, all the family group chats, and then they send the most random picture, and you're like, "Nice." But it's so
yes.
cute that they just wanna take a photo and share the photo with you, and they'll be like, "Look at my nice lawn," or, "Here's the sunset," and you're just like, give the dad response of just a thumbs up.
And that thumbs up means a lot too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think. You know what? We should call it, like, dad shopping because they're good at buying specific things. Like, my dad, if on his own free will, was very sweet. When he picked us up from the airport, he got us some water, and then these were the snacks he got. He got Reese's peanut butter cups. He got Skittles. He got Pringles. He got Cheetos Puffs. And then he's like, "Look it, I found this new flavor." And it was dill pickle puffs. He didn't read in like the big font. It was flaming hot. And my dad's one to be like, "I'll try it." He hates spice, but he'll be like, "I'll try it." And then he'll have it and be like, "Whew, that's spicy." So, like, dad shopping is a unique skill. They're so good at, like, "You know what? We're not cooking dinner tonight. I picked up this," or, "Oh, I'm picking this up for lunch. What do you want?" But yeah, if you give them free will, I feel like they just come back with snacks and sweets.
And it's always the best too, because like my dad's the type of person too, or he'll also just be like, I didn't know what you want, so I just got a bunch of things.
Yes.
And it's always so
Yes.
nice because my dad was like, my mom is much more like, eats very healthy. You know what? Let's eat good food. Let's get
Yeah. Let's eat good food. You deserve a treat. I do remember one time back in college, I was just having, like, a rough day or rough week or something. And I don't know about your dad, but my dad, like, loves going to Walgreens to get candy. Like, it's just his little thing. And so I came back from something, and he had got me a little stuffed llama. His name is Lionel. And then my dad knows I like the Arizona teas, and so he got me, like, a mango one and a different one to try, and I was like, "That's so sweet." And so I still have Lionel with me today, and if I'm having a bad day, I just bring Lionel out, you know? So they got such a sweet heart.
cute. That's really cute.
Yeah.
And I think this one's a lot more Midwest exclusive, but something my dad loves doing, grilling and drinking while at a body of water. Ideally either a lake or a river, but
Mhm.
dads love that. And honestly, it is a really peaceful way to spend time.
Yeah, they gotta have good food, good drinks, and good music. They
And
always
it's
gotta be the
usually
DJ.
yes, they're gonna be the DJ and they're honestly gonna play some pretty good dad rock too.
Yeah, dad rock, definitely, and then they're gonna, like, test you, and they'll be like, "Who's singing?" and then you have to go back and you'll be like, I think it's this, and I'll be like, you're so far off. Or they'll be before like the first note of the song, they're like, Jimi Hendrix. They named the song title and they're like, this from 1976. They're like, I was 4 years old at the time, but I knew this was gonna be a hit. Where I
No,
saw,
it's true though.
oh my god, the crazy stories of like, I saw them in concert and I stood in the pit and I got impaled by tomatoes and beer cans. But it was awesome, you know, like
It was the best night of my life.
yeah. Oh my gosh. They definitely have stories, let me tell you, because they remember every little random thing. I know I mentioned this back last year, but I was like, dads can't remember your friends' names, but they can remember your second at bat in the fourth tournament of the year that was on Mother's Day, and your field was facing south, and there was a lefty pitcher, but then right as you came up to bat, they flipped into the righty pitcher, which helped you a lot, and they were only pitching you outside, but then she missed one of her spots, threw it inside, and she paid for it.
He might not know their name, but he knows if they're left or righty.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yep.
important stuff. The
The important stuff. And then if you ask him for what coffee he wants, he'll just say, I want a cold coffee. I'm like, an iced coffee? But maybe he's just being European because that's what they call their coffee. They say cold coffee. So maybe
Cold coffee.
you didn't know it, but maybe your dad was being European when he was ordering his coffee. And don't let your dad and uncle go through the drive-thru.
There's a will turn into chicken.
Oh my gosh. If you missed it, go to our Instagram. It's a pinned reel. My dad and uncle came through the drive-thru while I was working the drive-thru, and they were making chicken noises. So I won't spoil it, but go check it out if you haven't seen it.
And another like peak Midwestern dad like activity is shoveling snow like an extreme sport. Like they have that down to a science. They're not happy about it, but they have it down to a science.
Mm-hmm. They have it down pat. Yeah.
But do you have any other ones?
I think that's all that I have for the Midwest dad. But to all the dads out there, happy Father's Day. If your kids don't say it to you, we'll say it. And maybe if your kid's too shy to say it, we'll say it with them. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Dads rock, you know. They're unique in their own way, but they're sweet and caring, and you just gotta let them be themselves, you know? Like, you do you, boo. And they thrive in their dad life, specifically the Midwest dad life. And you wouldn't expect anything less from them.
Happy Father's Day out there to everyone.
And did you have anything else you wanted to add?
So I forgot if I mentioned this back when we had Mother's Day. My fiance bought me a Mother's Day present, which is interesting because we don't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I think for the first year I'm gonna be celebrating Cat Father's Day. So we will go be seeing my dad. Thankfully he's like very calm. He's very chill. And like every time I ask him what he wants to do for Father's Day, I'm like, I'll take you out to dinner, we could do axe throwing, I'll take you to a movie. I mean, those just seem like things that dads would generally like. And he says, no, you can come over and watch a movie and we can grill and hang out.
There you
I'm
go.
like,
it's the grill.
it's
I
a
know, I'm
simple
like,
thing.
oh,
It's
what do
just
you
simple.
want? We're grilling, so say less. I'll be there because we don't have a grill yet, so I'm there. Yeah, dads are like, it doesn't matter as long as the girl's involved.
But do you have any other things to add?
That's all I got. But if you made it this far and you're not following us on Instagram, YouTube, or Spotify, what are you doing? Do your dad a big favor and find some good jokes that we'll put into our podcast and click follow. Subscribe, like, share with a friend, share with your dad. Or maybe you can relate to what we said, especially as a Midwest dad. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram, all at Expertly Unqualified. Obviously, we are very unqualified in what we do, but we're going to share it with you because we pretend we're experts. And with that, that is our episode of Greetings from the Midwest. We'll catch you guys next week with our walk and talk. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that's a wrap on our episode of Expertly Unqualified. If you stuck around this long, you're either extremely loyal, extremely bored, or extremely caffeinated. Either way, we love that for you. Make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review if you laughed, related, or were personally attacked by something we said. Find new episodes and more on our website, thepodmates.com. And don't forget, follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Expertly Unqualified. Send us your stories, questions, or weird hot takes. You might just hear them on a future episode. We are, as always, expertly unqualified. Conversation's so fun, you'll forget we have no idea what we're doing. Was it Podmix production?